Hi guys, welcome back to Dollar Dialogue. My name is Rainey.
And my name is Shri.
I'm a finance and accounting major, and I'm also minoring in econometrics and data analytics as well.
I'm a finance major and a mathematics minor. In today's episode of Dollar Dialogue, we will be doing a collaboration video where we'll be exploring the world of entrepreneurship.
Yes, do you guys know what entrepreneurship is? Well, it's the process of making a business for A, profit, or B, making a social impact.
Exactly. And today we will be talking with both a Drexel professor and expertise in the entrepreneurship field in order to gain some more insight on it.
Yes, so stay tuned.
Today we have the Beau's very own professor, Chris Finnin. Before we get into it, Professor Finnin, would you like to introduce yourself as a professional and as a professor?
Sure. Most importantly, thank you guys for having me. Thanks for going off onto this great journey that you're going on to. So again, I'm Chris Finnin. I'm celebrating my 25th year teaching here in Beau, where I spend the majority of my time working with students in their first year, helping them make the adjustment from life in high school to life at the university. And then outside of that, I've been able to advise and start a couple of things on my own, so we can get into it.
Okay, perfect. So that's amazing. So can you first tell us more about your passion for teaching? Like, what makes you want to get up every single day and basically pursue it?
Yep. I love this question because it really does get to the heart of why I do what I do. When I was in my third year of college, that was the first time I had a class that I was really into. It was the first time that I had a teacher that I really kind of vibed with. It was the first time I was in a class that didn't make me fall asleep and question why I was here. And that was with a guy named Jim Ogden. And Jim taught me that learning could be fun, that learning in the classroom could be fun and not just sit in the back of the room and take notes and don't really do anything. And I sat in Jim's class and I said, that's what I want to do when I grow up. I want to be just like him. Mm-hmm. And so now here, 25 years later, hopefully one or two folks would say that I made them feel the same way, that they now are interested in school because of what we did in class together.
Got it. And that sounds amazing, actually. This goes a little bit into our next question, but we were going to ask, what is your favorite class that you've taught so far and why?
Yep. I always say the same, and I always say that it's Business 102. So it's after you've gotten adjusted to life on the university campus, after you've made some friends, after you've gotten comfortable finding your way around campus and talking to teachers and talking to your advisors. I feel like it's then that students are really beginning to get their feet under them. Mm-hmm. They talk in class more, they come up with different new ideas, and we really get a chance to explore business in that class. So that's always one that I mention. I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about the fact that I also teach, as some of us know, Business 350, which is our class that takes students abroad for a week in an intensive course abroad. I absolutely love that class. I love the community service aspect of it. I love the chance to explore Europe with students and really learn about different companies and different cultures outside of the four walls of Beau.
That's amazing. Thank you so much for both introducing yourself and telling us about your passion for teaching. Now we're going to move on to our Fireside segment of the video, and our topic is entrepreneurship.
Can you go into explaining what you think the field of entrepreneurship will look like in the next couple of years in the near future?
Yeah. I think that it's just always been a really exciting and constantly evolving area. Clearly with how AI is coming into play, not only in the work we do here at the university, but certainly outside of the university. So I think entrepreneurship is just going to continue to evolve. The technology is going to make it that much easier for folks to bring products to market. It's going to make it that much easier for you to have an idea on Thursday and to launch your product on Monday, to launch your service on Monday. No longer do you need to hire 15 developers who come into the office or work hybrid and work remote and pay them a significant amount. You won't need to do that nearly as much as what you need to do today. So I think the technology is going to continue to evolve, it's going to continue to advance, and that's going to be a big boost for the field of entrepreneurship.
Interesting, thank you. Our next question is, what basically made you interested, or passionate about entrepreneurship as a whole?
Yep. I saw firsthand, I worked for someone a long time ago now who was just a really amazing thinker, one of the smartest people I ever met, Josh Koppelman. And Josh really showed me what it meant to start something, what it meant to see it grow and see it evolve. And then from there, I've had the pleasure of working with a number of entrepreneurs who really have had the same type of grind, the same type of grit that I always saw out of Josh.
Wow, that's amazing. It's great to hear.
Yeah.
So now to move into some of our more entrepreneurship-specific questions. First, we wanted to ask you, when you look at successful entrepreneurs, what is the one trait or distinguishing factor that stands out to you the most?
Yeah, I love that. One thing that really sticks out to me is the fact that all of the great entrepreneurs that I've worked with and that I've spoken with, they can see around corners. And what I mean by that is you can look at a problem and you can see how it exists and what's happening with it. But to me, the really great entrepreneur can see around the corner and know what's going to happen well before it comes up. They can look around the corner and say, we're going to have to think about this. We're going to run out of money here. How is the market shifting because of competition, technology, etc.? So for me, it's about their ability to see around corners and understand problems well before the common folks, me and others outside of the company, well before we would see them, before we would even know they were coming. Mm-hmm. It's that for sure. I think it's their ability to just go and continue to go when other people would probably have stopped. Their ability to just deal with adversity, to deal with challenges. We didn't meet our customer number this week. We don't know if we have enough money to make payroll. How fast is the market evolving? Are we going to be able to keep up? It's those kinds of things that I think some of the great entrepreneurs out there can do. And I love watching it happen, quite frankly.
That's amazing, thank you. So our next question is, what do you think people misunderstand the most about being an entrepreneur?
That just because you have your own company, that just because you've started something, you are not the richest person on your block or in your neighborhood, in most cases. You don't have a limitless amount of money to buy t-shirts that have the name of the company on them, or to buy dinner and everything else for people around you. It's not a guaranteed pathway to incredible wealth. And I think that's one of the misconceptions, John, he runs his own company, and he can cover dinner tonight. Or, that's why he's putting a big addition on his house, is because he's an entrepreneur. He's got his own mechanic business somewhere. So I think that's one of the big misconceptions, is that that every entrepreneur has a great deal of wealth. It's a fantastic pathway to wealth, for sure, but certainly not a guaranteed pathway, and it's not everyone's pathway.
For sure, agreed. Yeah. For students who haven't yet started their college degree, I definitely agree that entrepreneurship does have that connotation sometimes, for sure.
Yeah.
And next, I wanted to ask, you did touch upon this one a little bit earlier, but how does entrepreneurship change as AI rises?
Yeah, I think I love thinking about this because the days of, again, needing to hire a full development staff to build your app, or to build a new website, or whatever your next idea is, that's going away. It's so much easier now to build something. 25 years ago, if you wanted to build a new company, if you wanted to build something online, it was going to cost you $15 to $20 million, and that's just not the case anymore. There's plenty of examples now where it's even easier to build something out of your dorm room than it was just 5 years ago. Again, you could vibe code something today and you could launch it by Monday and see if anybody cares. So, in the age of AI, I think it's going to be easier for you to build things. I think it's far easier for you to understand if there's even a market for your product, for your idea. It's so much easier to research what customer needs are. It's so much easier to put a survey out into the world and see what people think. It's so much easier to hold a focus group and talk to people. It's so much easier to get government data to help to support or reject the idea that you have. So I think technology is just continuing to rapidly evolve and make it so much easier for all of us to go and start something, to go and build something that can maybe change your family tree a little bit, that can maybe generate some kind of wealth just to help you to pay for college.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. We were on Claude, we were messing around trying to figure out I don't know, we just tried to make a website for us, and it gave us the full layout of a full website and an app and everything. So it's crazy how much more easier just making apps and websites it is now because of Claude and stuff like that.
For sure.
I think it's going to be interesting to see sort of what happens to those folks who have built a career around designing and developing apps and websites. I think that evolution for folks is going to be really interesting to watch as they'll move into more of an analytical role, maybe. They'll move into more of this product doesn't really look right, let's make these changes role. So I think that'll be interesting to see how those computer science roles continue to evolve as technology continues to change in front of us.
Mm-hmm. No, I totally agree. Okay, so for our fourth question, what is the best way for entrepreneurs to get over bumpy paths along their business journeys?
So to get over the bumpy paths, I think it's a chance for you to use the data that you're seeing that's causing that bump. Maybe the data is telling you that we don't have enough traffic coming to our app. Maybe the data is telling you, maybe the bumpy road is that we don't have enough revenue. Maybe the bumpy road is we need to hire more people. We need to let people go. So I think the bumpy road is a chance for you to really look at the data and see what is happening within the organization. A chance for you to see what's happening between you and your co-founder and the 2 or 3 other people who work with you. What's really happening here, and not necessarily see it as a bumpy road, but instead to see it as the data that can help us to continue to grow and to continue to evolve the business. I hate the word, but maybe it's a chance for us to pivot and to go in a slightly different direction. Maybe the initial research told us that everybody wanted a blue quarter zip, and later on you found out, oh man, everybody wears a blue quarter zip. Nobody wants them anymore. That's just for old, bald guys. So you use that not necessarily as a bumpy road, but as a chance to say, this is what the data is telling us, and we need to move in a slightly different direction.
Wow.
Thank you.
That's great to hear. And for the next question, this is going to give our following base a little bit more of insight into your mind as an entrepreneur. But which entrepreneur or role model do you look up to from history that you think was the most successful?
You can, and I'll use the word slice in it very intentionally. You can slice this question in a lot of different ways. Mm-hmm. So one person that very few people have probably heard of, and I'll suggest you guys have probably never heard of this person, but his name is Otto Rohwedder. And Otto Rohwedder was born in the late 1800s and was the inventor of the machine that slices bread and packages it. Think about, what that has done for Wonder Bread, for Stroman bread, for the bread you buy, the fresh bread that you buy at the grocery store, an incredible invention that he was able to do a little bit with, and He died in his 70s and had worked in the industry for a long time. So I think, him as one example, right, of somebody that nobody knows. But a really cool invention that the next time you guys go and take a slice of bread out of the packaging, you're going to remember Otto Rohwedder. He's the guy who invented that. So a cool inventor, entrepreneur. From there, I think over the past 70, 80 years, you can call out some pretty easy examples, right? So I'm an absolute Apple fanboy, so Steve Jobs always comes to that list for me, not because of, some of the obvious things, but he comes to the list for me because he changed not just computers, right? Not just the fact that I have a MacBook Pro, not just the fact that I have a cool iPad, right? But everything. Music. Think about FaceTime. Think about the laptop. Think about how the iPhone completely changed how we communicate and how we absorb data. Now, the iPhone has more technology in it than the Apollo spacecraft that landed on the moon.
Wow.
That is crazy.
That's a powerful one. Artemis 2 took off yesterday, the NASA rocket that's going around the moon.
Mm-hmm.
And the iPhone that we have has more technology in it than the rocket that landed on the moon and came back. And Jobs made that happen, right? He led the team that helped to make that happen. Jeff Bezos completely changed how products go from the company to your front door, and now you order something and you have it in 2 hours. 20 years ago, you ordered something, you were lucky to have it in a week. And thinking about the distribution channels, thinking about optimizing the site to give you the things you want to see. So Bezos comes to the list. And the last one that I'd have to point out also, and somebody that not a lot of people talk about, is Reed Hastings. Reed Hastings is the co-CEO at Netflix.
Oh, wow.
And, during his time at Netflix, they were mailing DVDs to you. You'd order it on the website, and a couple of days later, you'd get a DVD in the mail, and you'd watch the movie whenever you could watch it, and then you would mail it back, and you'd get more. Well, they completely changed what that model looks like, and now, thanks to them and the power of streaming, we watch whatever we want whenever we want it. And so to think about what Reed Hastings was able to do at Netflix, I think is a really powerful example of a great entrepreneur.
I find that last one very interesting because I remember around the time I was born and a little before that, my parents went to Blockbuster.
Yeah, right, exactly. So, Netflix could have gone the same way as Blockbuster, and they could have disappeared. They could have disappeared. Your parents would probably tell you that, somebody used to come around knocking on doors trying to sell encyclopedias, so you had to have all the encyclopedias in your house, otherwise your kid was not going to be successful. Well, that whole business has gone away, and obviously, and Netflix could have gone the same way if it were not for great leaders and thought leaders like Reed Hastings who helped to bring streaming in front of us.
For sure.
Yeah, that's amazing. Thank you.
Yeah.
And then for our last question is, how do you find the entrepreneurial mindset still resonates with you as a professor at LeBeau?
Yeah. Recently, the Close School of Entrepreneurship came into LeBeau, and I think this is going to be a great thing for students both in Close and in LeBeau, and then obviously for students across the university. The entrepreneurial mindset in Close has always been incredibly strong since its founding, thanks to the work of the dean over there, Donna DeCarolis, and Vice Dean Chuck Sacco. And I think that's going to just continue to spread throughout LeBeau now that they're being integrated into our college. It's always been, the entrepreneurial spirit and mindset has always been alive in LeBeau. Quite frankly, it's why I came here when I did, was because entrepreneurship was so important here. And so I think it's going to continue to thrive. It's going to continue to really be something people talk about. And I'm just excited to see the companies that come out of LeBeau and now having Close joined in with us. I'm excited to see the great ideas and products that come out of that marriage between Close and LeBeau.
Yeah.
So I think it's alive and well, and I think it's only going to continue to grow. I think, hopefully bringing Close into LeBeau is kind of like throwing rocket fuel onto the spirit of entrepreneurship here. It's always been thriving, it's always been growing, but I think this is a great chance for us to, again, throw some rocket fuel on it and really make it happen.
For sure.
Yes.
Thank you so much for your insights, Professor Finnin. This was great. It was great learning more about the entrepreneurial mindset. Thank you for coming to visit us today.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was an honor of Dollar Dialogue to have you as our first guest. So thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule and filming with us.
Absolutely. And I hope that you'll invite me back to be guest 100.
Of course,
yes, we will.
For sure.
Guest 100.
Yep, I'll
there
write
you go.
that down
You
in
heard
my
it.
notes.
You heard it.
Yes.
Guest 100.
It's on record.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys very much.
Yes, thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Professor Finnin. Round of applause.
Yes.